Hello everyone, how are you getting on? So this is a special Christmas episode and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to run a fun Christmas quiz. I'm also going to read a lovely Christmas story, and also there'll be some interesting facts along the way. But first things first, let's pop the kettle on and I'm going to play you on the guitar a well-known Christmas song. Enjoy. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun learning that song. So I'm currently sitting on my sofa right by the fire. You should be able to hear it crackling in the background. And I'm very, very cosy. I've got a Christmas jumper on as well, of course. And I've got to make some tea. So I'm going to pour the boiling water into the teapot. Lovely. Now we're all set to begin our quiz. I hope you're all ready with a cup of tea in hand. So how is this quiz going to work? Well, it's all around Christmas, but each round is themed, and after each round I'll give you time to note or just think of what the correct answer may be, and then I'll reveal the correct answers. The first round is to do with film and music. Question 1. In The Muppets Christmas Carol, who plays Scrooge? Question 2. Which record was a Christmas #1 in 1975 and 1991 and is the only Christmas #1 to be won twice by the same artist? Question 3. After the 12th day of Christmas, how many presents in total would your true love have given you? 640, 364, 78, or 12? Question 4. Jingle Bells is not traditionally a Christmas song. What festivity did it come from? I'm just going to do the milk before I give you the answers. Okay. In The Muppets Christmas Carol, who played Scrooge? It was Michael Caine. I think it's such a wonderful film. I really recommend it as just a really fun Christmas film. What other good ones are there? The Grinch. Love that film. Elf is really fun. and Home Alone 1 and 2. So any of those, if you just want some cheering up, some nice Christmas fun, I recommend those films. Second question was, which record was a Christmas number one in 1975 and 1991? The song is Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Question 3. After the 12th day of Christmas, how many presents would your true love have given you? The answer is 364, which I think is really funny in the fact that that's the number of days other than Christmas. So actually you could receive a present every single day from your true love, whether that's one of the 5 gold rings or the turtle dove or the geese laying. You'd have a present for every single day of the year except for Christmas Day. Oh, as long as it's not on a leap year, of course. Question 4. Jingle Bells is not traditionally a Christmas song. What festivity did it come from? The answer is Thanksgiving. And it's interesting how Thanksgiving has influenced our Christmas traditions, because a lot of us think to eat turkey on Christmas, and that's the influence from Thanksgiving. But traditionally in the UK, you would eat goose. So there you go. And that leads on to the next round, which is around food. But before that, I need to sort out my drink first. So I'm going to pour out my tea. Glorious. Oh, I may add a bit more water in the teapot for a later second helping. Okay, now we're on to the round of food. I love food. I think it's one of my favourite parts of Christmas. I love eating lots of cheese. I like, of course, the roast dinner that you have for Christmas. And I just even love eating the leftovers and what you can do with them and kind of thinking creatively. I always each year watch Jamie Oliver's Christmas special, and it's just so wholesome and so lovely, and just watching him kind of cook these delicious meals and prepping all these exciting little treats. It's glorious, so I really recommend that as a good TV show to watch. So, the first question, what was Mr. Bean searching for when he got his head stuck in the turkey? Question 2. Which takeaway food is so popular in Japan on Christmas Day that it often has to be ordered weeks in advance? Is it A. Domino's, B. McDonald's, or C. KFC? I love hearing about other people's religions and cultures and what they do on Christmas Day, because of course so much of the world celebrates Christmas, but not everyone. And I found out also that Jewish people in New York will order a Chinese takeaway as tradition on Christmas Day, because that's the only other restaurant that's open, because a lot of people with Chinese heritage won't be celebrating Christmas. And that's another thing I discovered, is that here in the UK, even if you practice a different religion, you still celebrate Christmas. But somewhere like in America, you wouldn't. It's actually quite unusual. It's actually just quite a Christian thing. But here, it's just quite a cultural thing. And that's why in America they say Happy Holidays to be open for all beliefs. But here we just say Merry Christmas. So that was something new that I learned. Anyway, question 3. Instead of a turkey or a goose, what was the centerpiece bird in Tudor times? Now I'm going to go through the answers for the food round. Question 1. What was Mr. Bean searching for when he got his head stuck in the turkey? The answer is his watch. I love Mr. Bean. What great fun. Question 2. Which takeaway food is so popular in Japan that on Christmas Day it often has to be ordered weeks in advance? The answer is KFC. I think you can get like a whole roast turkey or a whole roast chicken, just Kentucky fried. That must be amazing. And question 3, what was the centerpiece bird in Tudor times? And the answer is a peacock. And apparently they would pluck it and then redecorate it with its feathers. Just going to have a lovely sip of tea. Ah, lovely. So now we're going to do a round on history. Question 1. What is the name of the Roman pagan festival which has influenced Christmas as we know it? And I'll give you a clue. It is named after a planet that will align this Christmas. Question 2. When was the first Christmas card invented? 1743, 1843, or 1943? Question 3. Bethlehem is a tiny village in which UK country? So now I'm going to do the answers for the history round. Question 1. What is the name of the Roman pagan festival which has influenced Christmas? The answer is Saturnalia. So the god Saturn is a Roman god of agriculture and time. And what they would do is often give each other candle gifts, which was the symbol of the returning light of the winter solstice. And what also they used to do in Roman households was have a mock king that was chosen, and also known as the Lord of Misrule, and they would be a mischievous character going around and chasing people and being silly. And you can see those kind of tricksy, fun characters in Christmas today. So in Iceland, you have the Yule lads, who are 13 tricksy troll-like characters who go out and about and get up to mischief. So you've got one that's called, I'm not going to pronounce them very well, but the Pottaskfil, which is the pot scraper. You've got the Askalikur, which is the bowl licker. And you've got the Huroskrir, which is the door slammer. So all these funny... Oh, I like this one. There's the Budjungakrir, which is the sausage swiper. I think that's great. Question 2. When was the first Christmas card invented? 1743, 1843, or 1943? The answer is 1843, and it was invented by Henry Cole. And apparently he invented it because he couldn't be bothered to go around greeting. And the design of it got into a little bit of controversy because there was a child given a glass of wine. And the way they advertised it as a Christmas congratulations card, I just think that's a really funny way of putting it. Instead of a kind of Christmas greetings card, it's like, congratulations, it's Christmas. I think that's great. And Henry Cole was also part of the launch of the penny post, which essentially meant that poorer people could afford to post things, and that essentially became what the Royal Mail is today. And question 3. Bethlehem is a tiny village in which UK country? And the answer is Wales. So what's really exciting is if people are aware of the Nativity story and the Star of Bethlehem, on December the 21st, the night sky will light up because Jupiter and Saturn will align, and that's the closest they've been since the 13th century. And what they're saying is that this may look like what the Star of Bethlehem may have looked like. Just going to refill my mug. Oh, the fire is roaring right now. I feel so cozy. So the last round is on Christmas around the world. Question 1. In Syria, it's not the reindeer that helps deliver the presents. What other animal does? Question 2. What country is the birthplace of St. Nicholas? Question 3. In a town in Venezuela, on Christmas Eve, what odd mode of transport do they take on their way to church? Is it by roller skates, space hopper, or pogo stick? Now I'm going to go through the answers for the world round. Question 1. In Syria, the reindeer does not deliver presents. What other animal does? And the answer is a camel. Question 2. What country is St. Nicholas's birthplace? The answer is Turkey. Now, is it a mere coincidence that many people eat turkey on Christmas Day? Who knows? And question 3. In a town in Venezuela on Christmas Eve, what odd mode of transport do they take on their way to church? And the answer is roller skates. How fun! That was brilliant. What a fantastic way to roll to the church. That sounds like so much fun. Maybe I need to take up roller skating. So that's the end of the quiz. I, to be honest, did not know many of those answers before I did this quiz. So if you got any of those right, well done. And I hope you enjoyed it. So now we're going to finish with a really lovely Christmas story. And this story I used to be read to before I went to bed on Christmas Eve as a kid. And it used to get me so excited. And so I'm going to read it to you now. So it's a lovely Christmas children's book, and I really hope it offers some of the Christmas magic that it always gives me. The Night Before Christmas by Clement Clark Moore, and illustrated by Eliza Trimby. Now, you can't see any of the illustrations, but I can vouch that they are lovely. So anyway, let's begin. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the lustre of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering I should appear, but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke had encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Thank you everyone for listening. I've had so much fun doing this, and doing all my research on Christmas traditions and other traditions across different cultures and religions. I found that there is a unifying thing with all of us, wherever you're from or whenever you are from, is that in these very dark days we find a light, and that light is hope. And I think particularly where we are now, when things are really, really difficult, we are in that darkness. And that's why these traditions, these celebrations, they are the most relevant that they've ever been. And I hope that you can find some ways to find some hope, to find that light, and we can soon get out of the darkness. Have a very Merry Christmas and happy holidays and a happy New Year. Whatever you want it, I hope you're well.